Well, hey, good Friday evening to you folks. How are you doing? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. And I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful one. I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you loud and clear and live on a Friday night. We're going to talk some Classic Dragon magazine, and then we're going to get into some Classic Gamma World at 9 o'clock. So if you're just winging by for the first time, if you haven't already done it, please, if you like what you see, click that bell icon and that subscribe button and become a regular. We have a lot of fun here. We do. We enjoy ourselves, and we have a pretty good time when I'm feeling 100%. Thank you. Everybody keeps saying I sound better and I look better, but if I'm being 100% honest with you, I'm still tired. I still got the fatigue part of it. Honestly, I mean, if I looked up and there were 0 people watching right now and 0 people came on in the next 10 minutes, I'd say, all right, guys, I'm going to go to bed early tonight. But it's still the fatigue, Sean. It is still very much the fatigue. But you know what? Despite the fatigue, in spite of all of that, let me tell you this. We have a great sponsor on this show, and our sponsor are our friends at Hellebarde Games. Now, Hellebarde, they make the kind of adventure modules that they would like to play, whether it's for OSR, for 5th edition, or for Castles and Crusades. Old School is in play at the table, and you can find them on DriveThruRPG or their own website, hellebardegames.com, where they are currently having a 50% off clearance sale on all of their in-print 5th edition supplements. They've got a swamp full of lizardmen and mystery and an entire caravan trail packed with exciting adventures. So use the coupon code 5EOOP at checkout to get 50% off your in-print 5E modules from our friends at Hellebarde Games. We do love us some Hellebarde Games. Chad Band, good to see you. Uncle Brat, thank you very much. But like I said, the fatigue is still kind of a real thing, but I'm going to be busy as a beaver this weekend because Monday, the game grid for Guac 2 will be open. The dates of Guac 2 will be announced. The game grid will be open. You guys will be able to go and sign up for games and sign up to run games and look at all our events and so forth we'll have going on. It'll be very cool. I think you guys will have a pretty good time there. We've got a lot of cool stuff in store for you there. So please do check that out on Monday, because the grid will be open and you'll be able to just sign in, sign up. And the beautiful thing about a virtual convention is that the virtual convention will cost you $0, no pesos, no Australian dollars, no yen, no rubles either, I don't think. £0 sterling. That's right. It is a completely free virtual gaming event. We did it once last spring, and I think you guys had a lot of fun. Those of you who were here, it was kind of a low-key affair. I think we had like good 30 people at the con, but this year I think it could be bigger, and I think you guys could enjoy it more. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see just how many folks would like to attend, but we will have that game grid up and running, no problem. Prob Ugly and Yellow Dude, hello, good to see you, welcome. Kabuki Kid, greetings. But anyway, so yes, we're going to have the stuff set up for the con. Also, this is the weekend that I hope to have the time to start putting together the footage from GaryCon, which I've been holding over everybody's head now for 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks now? I don't know. But anyway, it's coming when it comes. Need to stop by Tyrell for a replicant. Nah, nobody can make a copy of me, baby. But anyhow, I need to take a... Well, the weekend is my time off. The weekend is my time off. Trust me. Don't worry, John. But anyway, so if you were here last night, of course, you know, we got a copy of Dark Tower from old Redneck there on the Discord. That was a lot of fun to look at. And one thing I did talk about doing, which we're going to do tonight, is... So one of my favorite classes in AD&D of all time is, of course, the Bard. I love the Bard. I love the Bard just as it's written in AD&D. The fact is, a lot of people like the concept of the Bard, but they don't like what it takes to become a Bard. But that's, you know, that's entirely your jam, and I get that. Well, back in Dragon Magazine number 56, an enterprising author said, "What if..." And by the way, I should point out, this is not the first Bard to appear in Dragon, actually. They were introduced way earlier than this, even. The Bard for OD&D, but I'm getting ahead of myself, or behind myself. I don't know. Anyway, they introduced an alternate Bard class. Now, if you're not familiar with how the Bard in AD&D works, if you're new to classic D&D and you're like, well, what is the problem? Just pick the Bard class and become a Bard. It's not that easy with the Bard. They're limited to humans or half-elves, and you have to have the stats to dual class, even though normally elves as demi-humans, or half-elves as demi-humans, don't dual class, they multi-class. But the way the Bard works is, you start as a fighter. You play as a fighter to a minimum of 5th level. Then at the 6th level, you begin again as a 1st level thief and play to the same level that you played your fighter to, up to 8th level, by the way. You could play your fighter all the way up to 8th level, then switch over to thief, but you'd have to play them to 8th level of thief. Now, we're not going to get into the nuances and finer points of dual classing. Just go with me on this. Start as a fighter, pick up thieving. After that, you become a 0-level Bard, a probationary Bard. And you're a Bard thereafter, and you get all the benefits of being a Bard, which are numerous. But by that point, you've probably gotten 60 to 70 hit points. You can do all the thief stuff. You can do all the fighter stuff. And now we start adding on a D6 for Bard. And it just goes like that. And it does require, as Kabuki Kid says, it requires a lot of dedication. Now, a lot of people, depending on the campaign, well, they might not think that they have the time. You know, it's like, hey, you said that our game is only going to be like 10 sessions over the course of the summer. You know, you're running a short campaign. I kind of wanted to run a bard, but we're starting at first level. What do we do? Robert Phillips with the Geller reference. So there was some consideration given, and an alternate bard class was created for Dragon Magazine. Now, the thing about Dragon Magazine classes back in the day is, unless they were put in official AD&D rulebooks, like the Thief Acrobat, like the Cavalier, like Drow Elves, so on and etc., they were not canonical. It was only officially acknowledged by TSR if they put it in a rulebook. So just because it was in the Dragon doesn't mean that it supplanted the AD&D Bard. So let's take a look at them through the lens of Dragon Magazine. And you guys can get a gander at the alternate bard. Now, I found this on the internet. This is Dragon Magazine issue number 56. A little bit of Phil Foglio art on the cover. And we're not going to deep dive this issue. We're here to look at the bard. But we have some fun cover art. Growth there, having burned away or melted a bunch of the snowman. So let's just jump right over to it, lest we get mired in admiring the issue. So this is by Jeff Goals, and this is Singing a New Tune, a different bard, not quite so hard. Conversation of a DM with two NPCs, Jake Armageddon, a half-orc fighter assassin, and Jake's brother Alphonse, a cleric assassin. DM, guys, I'm glad you could come. I wanted your opinion on a particular subject. Jake, go ahead, boss. What you want to talk about? DM, bards. The two valiant half-orcs immediately run to the nearest corner, cowering and whimpering. Alphonse, it hurts us. It hurts us. Nasty DM. DM, don't worry, I'm not going to bring one here right now. I just wanted to talk about them. Jake and Alphonse apprehensively come back from the corner. Jake, boss, bards are just plain mean. Me and Alfie will probably be in the running for Guildmaster pretty soon now, but these bard guys could lick the tar out of both of us. DM, which ones are worse, the old type bards or the newer type ones? Jake, well, I'll tell you, I'd rather run into a division of Sherman tanks than one of the old ones, and the newer ones are just as bad, except nowadays there sure are less of them because it takes them so long to become one. Alphonse, nasty bards, says. DM, Jake, where did you learn about Sherman tanks? There is one great drawback to the bard class, as described in the AD&D Player's Handbook, that being you have to go through 10 to 16 levels as something else before you may become a bard. The modified bard class described in the article which follows removes this inhibiting factor. The bard class, as redefined according to the author's experience and opinions, is one which a beginning character may enter without having to gain fighter and then thief experience. It is also a class which, unlike the official AD&D bard, does not possess thieving abilities, but does have limited power in the use of illusionist spells. See, right off the bat, I ain't loving it. The illusionist spell part, I mean. In planning a revision of the bard class, a path could have been chosen towards one of two possible extremes. Either to rework the material in the player's handbook without altering any of the basic structure underlying the class, or to literally start from scratch and begin again and design an entire new class, perhaps having only its name and a few of the most basic characteristics in common with the official version. In the end, the path chosen lies between the extremes, but ends up closer to the second one than with the first. I chose the Welsh version of the Bard as my source for several reasons. The bardic heritage of the Welsh people is rich and continues even to modern times with annual gatherings of bardic festivals. More importantly, this version is readily available to most people in Evangeline Walton's version of the Welsh Mabinogion tetralogy. Similarities may be found between this version and the version in the player's handbook. After all, they both describe essentially the same thing, only from different perspectives. While there was no evident reason to change a characteristic or attribute, that item was kept fundamentally the same, or when, I should say. Many differences will be noted, including but not limited to those mentioned above. It is easy. Let's try that again. It is easy to see how thieving abilities could be introduced into a non-Welsh version of a bard, but not in the bard as viewed by the Welsh themselves. Welshmen have a somewhat poor reputation in the eyes of other British peoples. The concept of Welshing on a bed is derived from the Welsh people. Also, there is a British saying that equates Welshmen with thieves. If the Welsh bard is assumed to have been the prototypical bard, the Irish may have a quarrel with this. Non-Welsh writers may have understandably included this thievery aspect in their literature. The illusionist connection is demonstrated well by Evangeline Walton's works, such as the incredible illusion Metawinden, created at the court of Caswallon in the Song of Rhiannon. This description certainly portrays a bard differently than the player's handbook, but no claim of superiority is made for it good, because I kind of already don't like it, but the differences arise from different perceptions, probably derived from different sources. I can state this bard is better for my purposes, and I believe it has more versatility and fewer restraints than the official bard. I hope other players will find it useful as well. A bard must have certain minimum ability scores. These are Strength 9, Intelligence 15, Wisdom 12, Constitution 6, Dexterity 16, and Charisma 15. A bard does not gain an extra 10% to earn experience for exceptional ability scores in any areas. And then we have the level names there and the level cost and so on. They use a D6 for hit points. And we have Rhymester, Versifier, Lyrist, Sonneteer, Troubadour, Minstrel, Skull, Lorist, Muse, Laureate, Bard, and then Bard all the way up to 23rd level. They're considered masters. And they gain a charm of 10% at first level, and it goes 10, 15, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64. Basically, you get the first couple of jumps of 5%, but it drops off to 4% as it goes up. A bard may be human, elven, or half-elven and have an unlimited chance for advancement. A halfling or dwarf may be a bard and attain up to 5th level. I'm starting to see the creep in of anyone can be in anything here in this design. They can be lawful good, lawful neutral, true neutral, neutral good, or rarely chaotic neutral, chaotic good. Bards tend to be lawful since they depend on custom and culture to make their living. Yeah, this is definitely this guy's house rules. And again, I'm not loving it. Bards are not evil, for this evil intent would pervade their songs and ruin the beauty inherent in them. Somebody never went to a rock concert. The only armor a bard may wear is leather armor, and only a wooden shield is permitted. A shield may not be actively used when a bard attempts charming, since a string instrument must be played, which requires the use of both hands. The weapons usable by bards are hand or throwing axe, club, dagger, darts, hammer, javelin, horseman's mace, scimitar, sling, broadsword, longsword, and short sword. A bard may use flaming oil, but not poison. Bards use the same 2 hit as fighters. They never strike more than once per turn. more than once per round, rather. More than once per turn. Well, I've hit the guy. I'll be waiting the next 9 minutes before I can try that again. They only have one weapon proficiency slot, and they suffer -4 when using any weapon they're not proficient with. Bard may employ any magical weapons of the type normally usable by a bard. Magic leather armor and a magic wooden shield may also be used. They can use potion scrolls, rings, rods, wands, and miscellaneous magic items, which are usable by all classes. Any books, librams, manuals, or tomes that are read by a bard cause the same effect as if the bard were a druid. Bards may also use a rod of beguiling and all types of the horn of Valhalla. Of course, they may use any appropriate instrument of the bards. The bards may employ some magic items better than other. And then they go into some musical magic items. Come on, no, I don't want to edit it. Lord, leave me alone. A bard makes saving throws as a cleric of equal level. That's just kind of coming out of left field there. Except for a saving throw versus paralyzation, poison, and death magic, which they make as an equal level magic user, and then they get illusionist and druid spells thusly. You don't get any illusionist spells till 5th level, then you get 2. You don't get any druid spells until 3rd level. I think there's a terrible misprint there. No. Okay, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. You don't get any druid spell. No, you start. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I got you. All right. I see what's going on now. So you start with druid spells, but these are certain ones you can't use. You can't use darkness or hypnotism or blindness or hypnotic pattern, misdirection, continual darkness, rope trick, minor creation, shadow monster. I don't know why you couldn't use rope trick. And bards, of course, get a legend lore check. This guy has them under the bard's lore. They can sing to increase morale. An instrument is needed for all bard abilities associated with song, excepting for inspiring ferocity or raising morale. In no way is any loyalty or reaction adjustment for high charisma any benefit to a bard's functions. A bard cannot employ henchmen or hirelings until he gains the title of bard. Then he may employ only druids or fighters of the human, half-elven, elven, or halfling races. A bard will work with no other bards while adventuring, although they may practice their music or poetry with each other. Like monks and rangers, bards retain very little of the money they gain. They will attempt to buy serviceable clothes for traveling and will buy fine clothes and the most exquisite instrument they can acquire for use when they perform, but will only keep enough money to maintain themselves in a modest manner. One interesting sidelight to the bard class is that if a player with a bard character has the ability or inclusion to write or recite short poems, he or she, or it says he, but it's he or she, should be encouraged to do so. If a bard was to charm a creature, then plant a suggestion of sleep in the creature. Lullaby could be appropriately sung by the player character. It would add additional flavor and enjoyment to the game. So there you have it. Yeah. There you have it. That is the Dragon Magazine Bard, or one of them anyway. I don't love it. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't love it, guys. I'm not a huge fan. If a player really wants to start as a first level bard, take the bard as written in the player's handbook and use all of the regular auspices of what's required to become a bard, and just say, okay, you start with a D6 hit point, and here's what you do as a bard. But I would definitely put. Oh, hey, LA Vernon. But I would. Let's be honest. I'm not just slagging the guy, and I'm not just slagging his work. I don't like the direction he took with it. Again, I think the bard is fine as written in the player's handbook. But I do feel like, again, if you want to run a bard right out of the box, just use the bard class in the player's handbook. Now, you might put some requirements on it, like, minimum requirements. Okay, what are we doing for minimum requirements? We're going to say you have to have the minimum requirements that you would have needed to dual class. So you need a 17 in one stat and an 18 in the prime requisite stat you're starting at. So in the case of the bard, or in the case of the two classes the bard has to start at, you need a 17 in strength and an 18 in dex. And it stops everybody from just running around being a bard. So there you go. But of course, what do you guys think? I mean, if you're watching the video and you want to throw out some questions for me about it, we can talk about that. Or if you're watching this video in the future and you want to leave a comment underneath and say, well, I don't like the bard, or I love the bard in the Dragon magazine and I don't like your opinion of it, Bill, that's just fine. You guys can go ahead and just hit me with that. Now, for comparison, and we've talked about this before, I think it merits mentioning, because I gotta, let's open Gamma World real quick, because I'll need that later. But let's take a look here. At the By the Book Bard, again, this is more for people who maybe are not familiar. Let's see. Just want to get down to it. It's way in the back, way in the back. It's even after psionics. So let's just take a quick gander at the bard as created. Pardon me, I've got a guest here in the studio with me, a moth or something. So let's take a look at this. Appendix 2, Bards. As this character subsumes the function of two classes, fighters and thieves, and tops them off with magical abilities, it is often not allowed by dungeon masters, even though this presentation is greatly modified from the original Bard character class. It is offered as a supplemental to the system, and your DM will be the final arbiter as to the inclusion of Bards in your campaign. Uncle Brat, would that be a psionic bard? Because they have mind powers? Does that... No? Okay. They must have scores of 15 or better in the following abilities: strength, wisdom, dexterity, and charisma. Furthermore, a bard must have at least a 12 in intelligence and a 10 in constitution. See, I think you can start off with a bard right out of the gate and use this. Bards must be human or half-elven. They begin play as fighters, and they must remain exclusively fighters until they've reached the 5th level of experience. Anytime thereafter, and in any event prior to attaining the 8th level, note that's prior. So the 10 to 16 comment in the dragon was incorrect. It's 10 to 14 levels. And guys, you gain thief levels so fast. Again, sometimes between the 5th and 9th level of ability, bards must leave off thieving and begin clerical studies as druids. But at this time, they are actually bards and under druidical tutelage. Bards must fulfill the requirements in all the above classes before progressing to Bard's Table 1. They must always remain neutral, but can be chaotic, good, evil, or lawful neutral if they wish. A neutrally evil bard, that would be like, I don't know. What would a neutral evil bard be like? I'm going to get in trouble if I name any artist, because one of you guys is going to be like, that guy's my favorite artist, unsubscribe. So I'm just not going to do it. I'll leave it up to you guys. Experience points are strictly those gained as Bard. All previously earned are not considered here. Experience level is likewise that of the Bard class only. There is no level beyond the 23rd. The Bard gains druidic powers as a druid of the same level, with the exception of druidic spells explained below. They use a D6 after the initial 0, so you will have to tweak that a little bit. If you're going to use the AD&D Bard right out of the chute, you're gonna have to give them at least a D6. You have no hit points. Your character dies. Oh crap. And of course, one thing that's not mentioned in the Dragon Magazine Bard, which I think is an oversight, is additional languages known. Or was it? Did he give languages too? I know he gave legend lore and charm percentage. Did he give... Now that I've said that, watch me have completely messed that up. Spells. No, he gave read languages. And I suggest the Bard is gaining languages, not as a percentage. Hey, Dungeon Minister, how are you? By the way, if you guys are new to the channel and just hanging around, please subscribe to the Dungeon Minister's channel if you're not already. All right, that's like part and parcel. That's part of the community we have around here. He has great content, and I highly recommend you subscribe to Dungeon Minister's channel. His production values are way better than mine, too. So we start out with language gains on kind of a staggered scale there. Charm percentage is better. Legend lore doesn't really start kicking in until 2nd level, and it's not great. It's not great. But hey, if you make Magna Alumni, you got a 99% chance of knowing what something is just by looking at it. You don't have to handle it. Your hair is less lustrous. Well, we all have our strengths, Dungeon Minister. College is important to the distinction of a bard, and I think that's something that is sadly missing from the Dragon Magazine Bard. And he or she will not associate with bards of a lesser college. The exception to this rule are the Magna alumni, who will happily aid, by advice or suggestion, any other bard of any level. Wow, can we go on tour with you guys? Sure. How long does your hair need to be to count as a grog? Nick Beardy asking the important questions. College of Pole Dancing, by the way, Nick Beardy, I think is reserved for succubi and type 5 demons. But don't quote me on that. Your hair must be this long to be a grog. It's not the length of the hair on your head, James. It's the length of the hair in your soul. College of Feminist Slam Poetry. This is why I'm glad you're here. This is why I'm glad you're here, James and or Megan. But I think if you want a level 0 bard, from the get-go, or like a starting level bard, just use what's in the player's handbook. Give them a hit die to start with, use all the minimum requirements, and just use it from the start. Who is the Greek with the long hair? Was that? I think it was Gardbro, wasn't it? Nick Beardy. Oh, Samson. No, that was a biblical thing. Samson. So anyway, they have magical leather or chainmail. They may not use a shield. They get weapons: club, dagger, dart, javelin, sling, scimitar, staff, spear, sword, bastard, broad, or long, or short. So they get all but two-handed swords. Although you can make the argument a bastard sword is a two-handed weapon. I think, just my 2 cents, is that the bard as written in the player's handbook is a fine way. If you want bards from level 1, throw them an extra d6 to start off their character and make sure they have the minimum stat requirements, and leave them as humans or half-elves. It's not game breaking. All right. It doesn't screw anything up to do it. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's a little bit better in the overall. The guy who cooked the one up for Dragon Magazine is, if that works for his table, but I can make every argument for why the player's handbook, historically speaking, or drawing from fantasy tropes, is just as good a bard. Bards are fun to play. AD&D bards, which James and Megan, I got to run an AD&D game for you guys, even if it's just a one shot, even if I have to be up crazy late or crazy early rather, to run a game for you guys. I would love to do that, but the AD&D bard, they are loads of fun. I mean, you get the charm percentage. It's just like, can I also just say, as a grog, I don't know where it comes from that the bard wants to have sex with everything. Like, I don't. Please don't sample that out of context and do a short video. Anyway, I literally don't understand that. Lol, horny bard. Never at my table. This is literally, I saw this start to pop up in 2015 or so. The closest to that, the absolute closest, you're darn right you'll get there, Nick Beardia. You're darn right you will. The closest to that I have ever heard of is Tracy Lesh. And you guys know Tracy, original D&D artist. buddy of mine, former neighbor, Tracy was playing D&D, and I think he said Skip Williams was running the game. Or it might have been Gary. Well, this is why we got to have Tracy on the show again real soon. But and he wasn't even playing a bard. He was playing a thief. And they went around a corner. And in the cave in front of them, there's a huge ancient red dragon asleep on a pile of treasure, because that's how it was back in the day. And so Tracy looks at Skip and says, "Can I roll to see if my thief can imitate the sound of a nearby, like throw his voice, like ventriloquism, throw his voice to sound like a nearby female red dragon in heat?" And I don't know what the dice roll he asked Tracy to make was. I don't know what his criteria for success was, but he said, "Yeah, fine." And Tracy rolled like a nat 20. Probably did it on a D20 roll and said, "Well, yeah, if you roll a 20." So Tracy rolls a nat 20. Dragon wakes up, hears the honking or growling or roaring or whatever, and leaves the scene immediately and goes tromping through the dungeon looking for this horny lady red dragon to make, dragon eggs with. So they grab as much of the treasure as they can while the dragon's gone and get out of there. That is the closest. Yes. Bonk. You go to jail. That is the closest I have ever heard. And Tracy wasn't running a bard, and he wasn't doing that to bring the dragon on himself. He was doing that to distract the dragon, to send it away. But I had literally until like 2015, I never encountered the whole lol, the bard wants to have sex with everything. Is it, you know what? I watched an episode or two of that cartoon based on Critical Role. And I guess like right off the bat in the first episode, their bard is stooping some woman. Like they're having a bar fight and their bard is upstairs laying pipe with some random woman in the tavern. So, I mean, is there yet something else we have to blame on Critical Role? Death Angel said we had that in the 90s. I'm just catching up with the all statements here. Let's see. Speaking of sweet dragon music, this is not sweet at all. This is a thing I didn't know this existed, and now that I do know that it exists, I am confused. like the Filthy Frank meme of him like pulling the horrible, confused, screaming face and backing away into the corner. Apparently, all the way back, like in the 1970s, like pre AD&D, M.A.R. Barker recorded an album of music for Tecumel, and I found the link to it's like 35 minutes of it is pretty trippy. Like, don't go in expecting, oh, okay, yeah, this is groovy, there's electric guitar. It's like guy with a pocket cassette recorder on the far side of the room from guy doing like chanting in a fictional made up language, and tapping on bongo drums. It is it is far out. It is really, it is an art. Of the many pieces of art you will encounter, that is one of them. And I don't necessarily mean that as a wholly positive thing, but if you guys are interested, I'll try and scare the link up. Let's see. But it is, man, it's really something else. It could have been Urdu. I don't doubt, Uncle Brat, that that M.A.R. Barker probably did lean heavily on Middle Eastern languages, making up his stuff for Tecumel as he did. I do know that, like, they hit you over the head. I owned a copy of Empire of the Petal Throne for a brief period because I thought, hey, I'll mine this for ideas to use in OD&D, and it was of next to no use at all. But I honestly, it's like, man, imagine if Tolkien wrote like the first 3 chapters of Lord of the Rings in Quenya and was just like, you want to read these? Learn to speak the language first, then come back. That is the gate that is kept for Tecumel, for Empire of the Petal Throne. And that's pretty dense. Oh, Uncle Brat, you knew Barker? Very cool. That is very, very cool. And you know, I was in a financial crunch and I had to sell my copy of Empire of the Petal Throne, but I wish I'd held on to it. It was an interesting piece of TSR history. Now, it cost $25 when it was released. That is the equivalent of charging close to $250 for a role-playing game today. And it came with a lot of it came with a lot of really, really, really interesting stuff that you did not get in role-playing games. I mean, TSR was very much a pioneer. And the Empire of the Petal Throne, I think Gary said they made like 1,000 sets or 500 sets or something like that. And they were crazy expensive. Like, they could not afford a second run of them. But you got like a vinyl color map of the main campaign area, this comb-bound book that was A4 sized, the box. I think it came with dice. Mine didn't. That is far out, Uncle Brat. That is really... So do you know the recording I'm talking about, Uncle Brat? Do you know the audio that I am speaking of? And by the way, in about 10 minutes, we're going to get going on Gamma World. So if you're here waiting for Gamma World, then you have not long to wait. I want to make sure, because I saw a couple of comments by Neckbeardia, and I don't want to. If he was alive today, and he did, he would say it's a skill issue. I mean, if you're talking about Barker there, yes. And maybe it's the type of player that's attracted to playing bards. It could be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Good evening, Miss Bella Games. Sorry about that, everyone. Use print style modules and great thick maps. There are only a few music nights. I'll say this about what I heard, lest anyone think I'm just like taking a dump on it because lol, it's old and weird. I mean, I'm old and weird. I would say, like, if you were going to run an EPT game and you wanted to put on something atmospheric and unsettling and fitting for the scenario, it's worth it, man. It's worth tracking down and playing in the background. Let me see. So there, I think we've come full circle, you know, a bard in TechML. And it's like, yay, hey, thanks for coming out tonight, guys. You know, the crowd shows their appreciation by like throwing the ears of conquered enemies up on the stage. Well, that's all right, Death Angels. We are old and weird. I like being old and weird. Right now I'm old and tired, but fear not. We will get rolling on that game here. We got about 8 minutes, and we're waiting on Doomsword to jump in. And if he is not here at the 1 hour mark, now I know it's 9 o'clock now, and those of you who are champing at the bit to see some classic Gamma World are like, well, come on, do the thing. I want to give a full hour of preamble show. Answer any questions. Hit me with any questions you guys have got. Ask me about my hair. Ask me about a book behind me. Ask me about a miniature over here. Ask me about my gear, my studio, whatever. We got 7 minutes, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. You guys have heard me run on, and now it's your choice to. We're open mind Friday. Beach Young and Awkward. Yeah. Donde esta su pantalones? Mi pantalones es on mi pilars, on my legs. What is the most D&D video game I've ever played? Yeah, Nick Beardy, you have to get to the one to get to the other. The most D&D video game I've ever played. The most AD&D video game I've ever played, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons video game I have ever played, hands down, has got to be Pool of Radiance, originally on the Commodore 64. Although I will say there's a close tie between that and Wizardry Proving Ground of the Mad Overlord. Have I seen your Owl Bear? You'll have to wait till the end of the show to find out. No integration of Middle-earth into D&D. How do I vote? I don't think it's going to be integrated into D&D, but people have been playing in Middle-earth and Lord of the Rings settings with the D&D rules probably from the first day they bought a wood grain OD&D set in 1974. And Wizards of the Coast won't officially integrate it because they don't have the license. Free League does. Do I keep Owlbear in my pantalones? No, Owlbear has feathers. He does not need pantalones. Unladen Weight of a Swallow, European or African? Last adventure book you seriously enjoyed was Death Frost Doom, so in that vein... Oh! Easy one, Nick Beardia. That would have to be Against the Giants, G1, G2, G3. It starts off as a very straightforward, okay, we're going to go in here, we're going to kick the asses of these giants, and then you realize something's not right. There's something very wrong, in fact, with the goings on with the giants. And by the time you get to G3, Hall of the Fire Giant King, you in trouble. I definitely recommend you get a copy of Against the Giants, because again, it starts out just straight on your face dungeon crawl. So let's see. What is my favorite color? Green. What is the volume of the Caspian Sea? 11. It's all the way to 11. What would non-classic Gamma World be? Okay, that's a good question. Crap Phone asked that up the ways. Yes, please do check it out, Nick Beardy. You will love it. Buckaroo Bonsai, I'm going to get back to your question in just a second, but I wanted to answer. Let's see. So non-classic Gamma World is kind of where they've taken it, and it's just furries on parade. Plus, they've altered the background of it so many times, like to the point where I think one of the like later editions of Gamma World is like literally the war was just kind of an inconvenience. Like, yeah, we find some ruins occasionally, but no, everything's hunky-dory now, and everybody's a furry now and a mutant and all, and it's just like that would be non-classical Gamma World. Tubes or transistors, but it depends on the purpose. Buckaroo Bonsai, what happens in that besides dungeon crawl? Investigation. Once you start finding out what's going on behind the giant raids and the factions going on behind it, it leaves the road from dungeon crawl. But at the same time, you still have to concern yourself with the dungeon crawl to get to the bottom of things. And even when you finish G1, G2, and G3, you're not at the bottom of the thing. You're like, finally, we've completed G3. Now we'll have oh, crap. Then you start Descent into the Depths, Shrine of the Kutoa, and Vault of the Drow. And it is a rich adventure that takes you from a hill giant fortress up in the mountains surrounded by pine trees, place where you can just kind of do hit and run raids, all the way to the gates of the abyss itself. Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna go full on snake oil audiophile, yeah, I mean, I'd have a listening room that would be like Tube Gear and just everything I've ever wanted on vinyl, or every recording I've ever wanted, things that I've got piles of CDs and gigs of MP3s of, I would have on vinyl. All right. I would be that guy about my audio if I had won the lottery kind of money. So we are just waiting. Let's see. Oh, a new Metallica album came out. So it's kind of a shame, about the aliens that kidnapped Metallica and left us with those asshole clones. Most memorable character death I've seen in a game. Wow. Black Bardigan getting an arrow shot through his head. we don't have enough time because we're going to start playing Gamma World here in a couple minutes. One night, if you guys have been with me and you guys have followed the show enough, you know about Black Bardigan getting an arrow shot through his head. You know that story. We don't have the time to explain it now. It was a decade-long revenge plan put in motion by my friend Kevin Wood. Kevin, who is a Vulcan when he is sober and becomes a Romulan when he's been drinking. I'm that much of a nerd. I'm that much of a dork. But it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. If by the way, Buckaroo Banzai, if you don't know this, on YouTube, look up "And Justice for Jason." It is a remix of "And Justice for All" that puts the bass back in it. The removal of the bass, that to this day, not even Lars Ulrich will admit that he was effing with Jason Newsted just because he could. I mean, at least Hetfield has had the balls to issue kind of a fake half-ass apology about the way they treated Jason Newsted for 20 years. But Ulrich is like, I don't even remember now. I don't know what, it's just kind of, it was, our drums were supposed to, it just stumbles around. I don't much care. I used to be a huge Metallica fan in high school and college, okay? All the way up until like 2002, 2003, and when I found out how they had been treating Jason Newsted, I was like, well, that's pretty horrible. Anyway, I'm going to put these headphones on now, and we're going to play some Gamma World. So let us welcome our Gamma World players tonight, our stable of unstable folks, and say hello to the one and only Doomsword Deathmaster's numbers rap.
Hey, what's going on?
Back once again as the Renegade Master, Kevin as Do Re Mi.
Hello.
Yo, Do.
A guy whose shining locks are visible even through 2-inch thick plastisteel power armor. You know him, you love him. Yang Yan Zhao as Rex Dashington.
Good evening, everyone.
And everybody, hello. Angel of mercy or death if you get on her wrong side. Say good evening to 4077.
Hey, peeps.
How is everyone?
Shout out to Bella, Elliot, and Buckaroo. I missed you.
So, let me see. Just to make sure I don't miss anyone's comments. So, last session, you had been exploring the ruins of the Atlanta spaceport domes when you had encountered a group of batters armed with a recoilless rifle and slug throwers themselves. You had dispatched some of them, but the rest of them, with some kind of wheeled electrical cart, made their escape up a service tunnel with their recoilless rifle. I need some canned applauses. Okay. It's Death Angels. Anyone who wants to contribute to the Canned Applause Fund, you can support the show on Patreon or via Subscribe Star or Super Chat, however you want to do it. But anyway, so the batters have fled. You guys have taken a few injuries here and again. What do you wish to do?
I look at Rex and say, there's your batteries. We're going to have to follow them.
Sorry, did they leave the cannon? They didn't leave the cannon, right? They took it with
No,
them?
they didn't. That was affixed somehow to the electric cart that they were on,
Okay.
and they turned that thing around and went charging back down the service tunnel.
Right, yeah, so we lost them.
So Rex will turn to 4077 and he'll say, "We have to go after them. It's the only way our colony will be safe."
Well, lead the way.
If I might butt in, I agree. And we need that weapon as well.
All right, let's do it.
I guess I'll follow just because. Don't leave me.
Well, it's at this point that Preacher kind of rubs his chin and says, "I have defended my homestead with all the gifts the good Lord has given me, but chasing mutated badgers armed with a recoilless rifle through the ruins of an ancient spaceport are a bit above my pay grade. Perhaps I could return and keep a watch over your vehicles whilst you pursue these mongrels and find out from whence they have created their mischief."
Bless your little soul.
Preacher,
Sounds like a good job for us. Thank you.
We need
Be
to
Keep
prepared.
that
reset.
recipe safe.
be prepared with the victory feast.
But of course, my friends, I believe it is that way towards the sunshine. The Preacher, he sketches a bow, hefts his shotgun, and begins to walk back towards where you were parked.
Nice knowing you. Mm-hmm. Why don't you call up some greens while you're gone?
There's plenty of food in that thing, that box, so maybe you can do something with it.
But of course,
Those are the meals refusing to exit. Is that
Pretty much.
okay?
They got a lot of sodium.
guy.
They're gonna last for like the next 100,000 years, like Twinkies.
okay, so he has moved on down the tunnel. What do you guys wish to do? Or back up the tunnel, I should say.
I think we got to go forward and follow them.
Yeah.
Or them, I mean, the batters.
Are they disappeared from view?
Yeah, the batters are gone. They floored it and went somewhere in that direction.
We'll go that direction.
Hopefully there's not too many forks as we come up here.
Well, it was
they leave a track?
it was a floating cart, right? So it's not leaving any. Okay.
No, it was wheeled. It was wheeled.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, we're gonna follow the wheel tracks. I'm sure they've left a little bit of rubber, at least at the start here.
I will scan the tunnel with the looking for heat, looking for the ultralight, whatever I can to see if I can identify tracks.
Okay. So you pan back and forth. There's a little bit of warmth, you think, maybe from the wheels of the cart that they had the recoilless rifle on, but it is it's quickly fading. It just kind of meanders down, looking down that way with your IR snoopers. I mean, there's side halls and whatnot that they might have ducked down. But you can see overturned tables, piles of metal and rubble. Occasionally there's a break in the ceiling above, allowing some sunlight in.
Rex, do your best tracking. We're trusting you. I mean, it's your batteries after all.
Well,
I have my needler out though.
I mean, keep going as far as we can figure out the warmth, and then we'll go from there.
We'll make an
Okay.
extra effort to look in the side. I don't know what they're, alcoves or hallways or whatever they are as we go.
Hallways, something like that. You pass they seem to be arranged regularly, and you can see little groupings, little corrals of seats. Some of them appear to have at some point been actual encampments. There's long cold remains of cooking fires or some kind of fires. Others, other than a thick layer of dust and the occasional broken appliances here and again, look like they were abandoned just yesterday. Looking to the left and right as you go along, some of the passages are sealed by what appear to be heavy metal doors. The doors are slightly ajar, and the doors are not there at all, and they go up these narrow hallways that seem to slope up or down as you look along them.
And do any of them look used? Can we detect, I don't know, disturbed dust or footprints or anything like that?
Let's see. Yeah, no, this vehicle must have had really low ground pressure, because in all the tracks and whatnot, you're not really seeing anything that looks like actual tire tracks.
Mm-mm-mm. So maybe we should keep going down the main tunnel.
Yeah, that's my thought too, because odds are a side tunnel isn't necessarily going to lead to a den,
Yeah.
safe area, basically.
So yeah, I think we'll keep going down the main tunnel, but keep an eye out on those side tunnels, looking for signs of people or other tech that looks interesting.
Okay. Occasionally, you do pass a counter that has one of the ancient devices on it. You know, it's got the flat screen and the board of regularly arranged buttons.
Oh, that ended so well last time.
The last 5 times.
Mm.
I'm going to turn around and pull my slug thrower out, walk backwards, just to make sure nobody's creeping up behind us.
Rex will turn to Numbers and say, "Numbers, you want to have at it?"
Sure.
Okay, so you're going over to examine one of these consoles.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see. Just kind of picking one at random. Let's see here.
We randomly pick the one that opens up the weapons locker.
Would we be
No,
that lucky?
you have to search around for a bit till you find one that's not one that's in good condition. The first one wasn't, but the second one you find is blank, of course. you've used these terminals before, so I tell you what, just give me a D10 roll just to basically, you know, give it a shot and try and get started.
Sure. That's a 3.
Okay, it hums to life, and you are, you have a few options on the screen there. There's one that says, flight information, passenger list, cargo manifesto, and log off.
I'm pretty sure you're the expert on these, Dale. You want to come take a look? I turned her on for you.
Yeah, I guess I'll head over there and see if it's up.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
Yeah, you're looking at the screen, and it has all those options on it.
Does any specific thing catch my eye? I mean, other than words? I mean, are there like special lights that are blinking, or?
No, actually, there's just the faint glow, orange amber glow of a power light, and the aforementioned menu options are on the screen.
Okay, well, we'll look at the cargo option. Let's see if I can select that.
Okay, so you bring that up, and let me see here. It lists a lot of strange things whose names you don't recognize. Something called a power vac, something called a sweet bot.
Stuff I hadn't seen or heard of before.
Yeah, no. Tamarind soda, 60 cases. You're like, what is even that?
I'll read a couple of those out aloud and see if anybody is like, anybody know what these things are?
No, I mean, some of them sound like food items, but other than that, you don't know.
Like, so the 60 packets of things seem like they might be a food item.
Could be.
I glance over it. Do I see anything that looks like it might be a battery or a cell? I mean, I see power stuff, but I don't recognize what those things are.
Let's see here. Sorry, I have a very narrow place workspace here, guys. So sometimes rolling dice is a little bit.
Me too.
Yeah, the only things of note that otherwise that you recognize, there is something that says solid duralloy scale model Savage Dictator starship. One dozen. Another one is coil of 00 gauge copper wire in 60-meter lengths. And
probably use that for the.
And the others is,
but.
And the final note is soft drink vending machine.
I think we need that murder killer StarCraft.
Well, there's 12 of them, right?
Excellent.
Yeah. The drink thing sounds like it might be good for the office too. Back home. I don't know how we'll get it there.
There's no way Fanta would have gone bad.
It was bad before I'd even started aging. Oh, it doesn't even have Fanta. It has Froyo.
Oh my god, the generic version.
Diet pineapple Fago.
Figo. Yeah, there you go. Figo. That's the one.
All right.
Does it give us like locations of where they're at, or any, or is it just it's like a bomb?
No,
Right.
it's just a list on the screen.
Okay.
Oh, we don't have rows or aisles or anything.
No.
Darn it. Well, I guess we have to find where the cargo's stored and
We're gonna
start
have to
rifling
find some
through.
white and black face paint too. Not gonna be able to drink that Fago. Okay, so I name out some of the things to say, hey, there's some stuff that might be useful, interesting to us, but it doesn't say where it is. Does it look like there's maybe a way I could query that specific item? Like I'll go down to the miniature starships.
Mhm.
Can I select it or
Is there
hit
maps around here
F2
somewhere?
or something?
Nope.
Okay. I'm like, well, apparently there's an inventory, but they don't have where it is. Standard government, let's just call it efficiency.
Is there like a "you are here" map?
There are a few of those, but they're not on this screen. They are sort of in the middle. There are those kiosks like the one that caused Rex's suit to malfunction.
I find one of them and I flag Doremi over and I say, maybe there's a map here. These seem to be the central things that do that kind of thing.
So these are electronic maps, or they're just like a poster?
They're electronic.
Oh, damn it! Is it up? Can I see a map, or is it dark?
It is in really, really good condition. You might be able to activate it.
All right, I'll try to activate it. I'll say, stand back, Rex. We're taking some chances here.
Thank you. I'm gonna step back too and say, oh, okay.
Yeah, Rex will move back a
They
bit.
liked me so much the last time. They almost took my legs.
I got a 3. I rolled an 8, but I got a mod of -5. So
Sure. Yeah, you have those crazy mods. For those of you who are not sure, there's using ancient technology checks that are loads of fun. Let me see. Let me get up to it here. Takes a moment to zip up. This is a fairly simple thing. So, yeah, you touch it and it flickers to life. And there's this weird blue triangle with a white chevron in the middle of it and a word under the bottom you don't recognize, and it becomes less recognizable as the letters change into just shapes made of lines, but then back into letters, but they make even less sense than they did before, and it kind of rolls through those over and over again till it comes back to the letters on the screen, like it's cycling through.
Is there some way I could get it to stop cycling? I'm gonna try to get it to stay on a specific map. Or is it a fixed screen and it's iconography that's changing on that screen? Is that
the lettering is changing.
okay?
The logo is not changing. The lettering is changing. You can give me another D10 roll.
Okay.
It's offering you languages. Yay!
I got another 3.
Okay. They're suddenly like blinking on at like you guys like literally have to blink your eyes. It's so bright. The white background that's now on. There is a picture, a close-up picture of a smiling woman there, and she says, it actually speaks. It says, "Good afternoon. How can I help you?"
Where is the cargo from here? I'll ask and I'll smile nicely.
Give me another D10 roll.
I just kind of do a princess wave from the side.
I got a 5.
Oh, you got a 5 total?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's a 10 minus 5.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. It actually it does not respond. You can give it another shot.
all right. I'll pick up the little puck that's there and say computer. No.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got a 0. That was a 5 minus 5.
Okay. You apparently asked it the right question because it comes back and tells you, by the way, you don't ever have to roll to try and get one of these to work again if it is in fact operational.
Okay. Cool.
You have figured out how to work an ancient technology info kiosk. Congratulations. I think there's a bunch of people in the now who can't figure those things out.
Just bring me your VCR.
But this one,
You smacked it on the side.
this one says that there is a luggage pickup is in Portway A, as shown on the screen. If you are looking for cargo shipping and receiving, that can be found in Terminal 23 here. And it shows you a little orange dot where presumably you're standing, and this complicated mess of passages and tunnels and that sort of thing. You're not sure how far it is, but it is
I look at Rex.
far across the map.
Can you map that?
Sorry, what'd you say? Can I map that?
Yeah. Do your
Can I
do your
map that?
imaging interact with
Sure
it?
you can.
Sure, I will map that, but I will not interface with any machines.
Yeah, duh, they got any charges around here, man? I'm as tight as a turtle in the desert of desolation on my hydrogen cells, buddy.
Hey, Doremi, ask
Yes.
the thing if there's a recharging station for Rex's suit.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll look at the lady and I'll smile nicely again and I say, do you have a place where we can recharge mechanical or armor suits and weapons? Maybe
Personal
even hydrogen
electrical
cells?
devices can be recharged at any of our terminal lounge areas. You will find those, and there's a pause, and the map comes up, and there's little green dots very near you that are flashing.
Ah, damn, boys.
So now all we need is one of those extension cords that have a male connector on
lady.
both sides. Is that what we need?
Man, lady. And bot, whatever.
Okay. Well, I pointed out. I'm like, well, it says that there's something over there that you can use to charge.
I could use a recharge.
Okay. So I look at the map and I look at the hall and I try to figure out where to specifically point.
Yeah,
Don't forget to
there's
thank it.
one that's right behind you on the other side of this broad gallery that you're in.
Well, let's go and plug in.
All right, let's.
I'll sit at the kiosk and I'll watch. How far away is it?
It's like maybe 10 meters.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna stay at the kiosk and I'll watch him go to it in case I have to ask more questions.
I'll stay by Doremi at the kiosk, just in case something bad happens at the charging station.
In case. All right, so Rex will go over to the outlet.
Rex, as you go over to the outlet, you immediately notice that between the rows of low chairs that are near the outlet, you spy a set of fresh wheel tracks that go up to a door on the far wall of the departure lounge.
Okay, but the vehicle the batters were using was some kind of levitation vehicle, right?
No,
It was wheeled.
Oh, it was wheeled.
Yeah.
So you found where they went, but let's recharge you first, maybe.
All right, so Rex will use a bunch of complicated hand signals to let everyone else knows he sees tracks, and they'll point the direction.
Everyone, it looks like Rex's power suit is malfunctioning because he's like waving his arms around. And
I'm used to that kind of behavior from him. I want to proceed
Still
and
out because I haven't put it away.
Yeah, I'll start holding my breath.
All right, so Rex will go there and he will take out his power adapter cord and plug on in.
Yeah, your power adapter cord is about as big around on the end as a 10 Domar piece, and it's got 3 prongs like the size of your fingers. And this little spot are tiny, tiny dust clogged holes that are.
So you're trying to plug a
millimeter.
dryer into a USB port.
Yeah.
Okay, so important question: can I force it?
Yes, you can absolutely force them.
I will try it.
Okay.
I'll say bye, pretty lady.
Okay.
Blows a couple of surge projectors. We smell smoke.
See you around. Probably ugly and yellow dude returned. Take care. So you jam it down in there because you're in power armor, and man, you can't stop that. And you hear a crunch. There's a bit of a spark and a pop, and a little wisp of smoke comes up. You don't notice any change in any of your suit's settings.
All right. He will take the plug out and he will head back to the others and say, "It didn't work."
I'll tell the lady at the kiosk that it didn't work. Is there a bigger one?
Is there a number on his plug that you can read off to it?
Twist
that all standard consumer all consumer electronics power distribution centers have been standardized for your convenience. We apologize if you have an older device which does not meet the current standards offered by this transportation company.
Is there a vehicle bivouac? I'll ask that.
Ask if there's converters.
Vehicle charging stations can be found in the various parking garages located around the spaceport.
Score.
Okay.
And,
This is the
converters.
kind of construction work I would expect from old Lanta.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll try to note that. I'm assuming they're not nearby.
Rex can map those things.
You don't even get a map for those.
Oh, damn it.
Guys, I found some tire tracks. I signaled.
Are there garage locations?
Yes. Okay.
Do I happen to find anything that that looks like I can stick these hydrogen cells in to recharge them?
No.
All right.
You're not sure what Rex plugged into, but it probably wasn't supposed to go there.
Right.
We just have to get some of that double aught gauge copper wire to help that next time.
Oh, that's gonna work so well. As long as we don't cross the streams, you got a 50-50 chance.
Well, perhaps these batters know where to recharge things. They have that recoilless gun. Let's follow the tracks and see if we can take them at their lair.
How wide's the door that they went through?
Well, it's at least as wide as the cart that they had.
So I mean, is it like a cargo door? Or is it like a
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's fairly large. It's maybe 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters.
Okay. Just before I walk up to it, do I notice there's any little weird objects on the side of the door? Square,
You're looking for
rectangular?
booby
On the
traps.
side of the door. What do you mean?
Booby
You know,
traps.
we've seen before where we had to use the keys, the cards that we didn't have. Do I see that kind of thing on the door?
There is one of those slots,
We
but
have
the
a
door
security guard ID
ajar.
for Atlanta Airport here.
The door
I handed
is
to
slightly ajar.
Doremi.
Oh, okay. It's ajar, so we can get in anyway. Worst case is Rex can open it if it's
Well,
stuck.
no, I have an ID from the security guard earlier.
But
at
it's
the airport
partially
here.
open. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got an ID. It can let
Yeah.
us through.
all right. Well, I guess we'll walk up to it cautiously. I'll have my slug thrower out just in case somebody sticks a recoilless rifle around the door.
They don't. There's a gap of about maybe 1/3 of a meter that you can see through, and the tunnel goes in about 3 meters, but then takes a sharp left that you can't see around it. It makes a sharp left turn.
Wait a second. I take my bike tire pump and I throw it through the opening to see if anything happens to it.
It thuds against the wall and floor, kicks up a little bit of dust, and then nothing.
Okay, I think we're okay.
Sure. So if I push on the door, does it open easily, or is it super heavy or anything?
It's kind of heavy, but it does slide open.
Okay. I'll push it the rest of the way open and stick my head around to look left.
Okay. The tunnel is mostly dark, but perhaps every 3 meters there are small circular windows that allow a modicum of sunlight in. This tunnel extends this hallway, I should say, extends perhaps 50 meters or so and terminates in a large circular door that is closed.
The windows are on the ceiling or on the wall?
The windows are on the walls.
I tell them it's dark back there, but there's some portholes or something that let light in.
We have a spotlight if you want to use it.
I can see all the way to the door, and the other side is closed. It doesn't look like anything's in there. I look in the corners and see if there are, any kind of mirrors or weapon mounts or speakers or anything that we've seen before.
Mirrors, no. Weapon mounts, no. But there might be speakers.
Is there
You think
stuff on like the floor or the ceiling?
I'm sorry, is there what?
Any kind of like obvious oddities that stick out on the floor or the ceiling?
Nope, just a lot of dust.
I ask Rex, hey Rex, can you have like a zoom feature in your visor?
Sure.
There are some weird items in the corner in this hallway. I just want to see if you could figure out what it is, just to make sure it's not dangerous.
Can I zoom in on anything and figure out what they are?
There's a speaker grills.
Speaker grills, we could come back later for the car. after we
Yeah.
kill the batters.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen those before when we had the trouble with Chat GPT earlier. But yeah, okay. All right. Well, I mean, it looks clear, I guess. Are there any other doors? Just the circular one at the end?
No. There's just the door at the end. I should point out, next to the door on this side, down at the far end, is what looks like a podium.
Okay. So the tire tracks went in here. Do we still see them?
Since you're looking carefully for them, yes.
And do they go to the door or the podium, or?
They look like they trail off down the hallway.
Looks like the tracks go this way. Let's keep following them.
What's on the podium? Is there like anything on it, or is it just? Does it look like somebody stands behind it, or is it just like a raised table kind of thing?
Are you going down there to see? Because you can't see it from here. It's 50 meters away.
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll go that way and look at it when we get there.
As we enter the room, I'm going to grab up the bike tire pump that I tossed.
Okay.
in.
Fair enough. So heading down the hallway, the one thing that you notice as you go down the hallway is every time Rex takes a step, the whole hallway seems to groan just a little bit. Like it's supporting his weight just fine, but there do definitely tell. And as you pass every window, you can now see on the left and right, on the left-hand side, there are massive piles of wreckage, of collapsed metal. You don't know what it was. Some of them are rather elongate and burned and blackened and twisted. Some just look like they've just kind of fallen in on themselves. On the right-hand side, looking out those windows, is a vast expanse of the ancients' metal and stone that they covered the ground with in places that they wished to move their vehicles. And you can see cropped up here and there through it stands of dried grasses and stunted trees poking up here and again. You also see smaller wheeled devices, not too many of those that appear to have been damaged by the same energies that damaged these others.
So we're above ground level?
Yes, you are above ground level by perhaps 20 meters or so.
Okay.
Anyway, as you reach the end of the hallway, since you were interested there, Doremi, the podium, first of all, to the immediate right of the podium, you see there is an intact, multifaceted window that you can see out of, and you can see a bit more clearly now. You can see the side of the dome, and down its circumference, you can see these elongate hallways that just sort of jut out of the side of the dome like spokes coming out of a wheel. The podium itself has a yellow button that's triangular, a green button that's circular, a red button that's octagonal, and there is a black stubby shaft, maybe that tall, that sticks up out of the middle of that panel.
I'll tap it. Does it make any noise?
You just tap, tap, tap.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not trying to hurt it. I'm just seeing it. Is it movable? Is it fixed? Does it come out?
Oh, you're talking about the stick?
Yes. Yes. The black stubby protrusion.
Well, I mean, it's an excellent shape. You push it to the right. There's an audible humming sound, and the entire hallway that you're standing in shakes a little bit.
Okay, I stopped doing that.
Okay.
I was like, watch out for that. That thing, it has some kind of attachment to the hallway. So is there a window at the end, or it's on the multifaceted windows to the right or left? It's not at the end.
Correct.
Okay. So I
quick
try to
question.
look and see if I can see past what's in the door through one of the windows. I mean, obviously I can't stick my head out, but I try to get as close as I can to the window to see if I can see if there's something outside.
Okay. There is a curved surface that looks like a smaller dome that this thing connects to. It just kind of curves away in one direction and towards the top and towards the bottom. It's almost like it's a ball almost that this thing's connected to.
Okay, I say there's some dome thing like we came in, just smaller. On the other side of this door, probably. A couple buttons.
Press them.
Go for it.
All right. Yeah. So I'll just pick one randomly. I don't know which one. I mean, have I seen these shapes before in an obvious place?
You've seen these shapes before, but not in this context.
Okay. So
It's a triangle, man. Come on.
Okay. I'll push the triangle.
We'll roll a d10.
Is this a tech use?
Yes, this is a tech use.
I could type. I got a -2. I really know how to push that button.
You really know how to push that button. You push that button decisively. And which one did you push? You pushed the triangle, the yellow triangle?
Well, that's what the one he said. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool.
Okay, you push the yellow triangle, and there is a great loud blast, like from a horn, that resonates through the entire hallway.
Just once?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, every time you push it, and it lasts as long as you hold it down.
Okay, it's momentary. So, okay. I see, yeah. I don't think that's the right button. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to do, but yeah, it wasn't I need to change my pants now. I'll try
Again.
I'll try the button to the left, whatever it is.
Okay, the button to the left is the green button.
Okay. I'll try to push it.
You push it decisively. It clicks, and there is a sort of a humming noise. You sort of hear this faint hissing sound, and the hallway seems to move a little bit and settle firmly against the smaller round building.
Oh. I don't know if that helped or not. It seems like we're I'll jump up and down and see if the hallway moves.
I mean, it definitely kind of a resonant clunk, clunk, clunk when you jump up and down. It's not like you're jumping up and down on the ground or something that seems like a firm, solid structure. Like maybe it's an ancient alloy or something like that.
But it's not bouncing when I do
It's
that.
not swaying back and forth. No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, Well, I'll push the other button, the red button.
Nothing happens.
I'll push the green button and say open door.
You push the green button and say open door, and nothing happens.
Yeah, this is probably too primitive for me, guys. Could somebody else do this?
Yeah, that's a likely story. Too primitive, huh?
Yeah, I can't seem to figure it out. I don't know what
Too
tool designed
advanced
this
for
thing.
this ancient technology.
Numbers,
just-
you want to cack at it, or should I?
Man, all I know how to do is destroy.
Well,
I
we need
guess
to
I
get
should
through
try
that door,
first
I
then,
think.
huh?
Right? So, it didn't seem like the door did anything when I hit those buttons.
Yeah, the door didn't budge. I should point out that there are levers and such on the door also.
Oh, okay.
Nobody asked me about that, so I just assumed you guys didn't care. You were all
Well,
about
we
the but
That was next.
Doe,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Okay, well, I looked at the levers on the door. I'm like, well, it's probably on the door then. It's hard to tell, though, because whatever idiot designed this might have designed the door thing.
It's pretty primitive, too.
Yeah,
I go
mean,
over to
some,
Joe Remy and I rub his shoulder and I say, "It's okay, it's okay."
some screwhead just... I'm not sure. This probably is like a museum or something from way before the ancient times. So I'll go look at the controls that are on the door.
okay. There's a lever. There's a very faded red arrow that kind of describes an arc that is right behind it.
So does it look like it pushes up or down or both?
Left or right?
Left
you
or
would
right?
guess.
And it's in the center, or is it on the left or right? Right now?
It's to the left, on the left-hand side.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him stand back because I don't know what the hell this is gonna do, and I'm gonna pull the lever to the right.
I'll stand behind him.
Okay. Okay, well, you guys have been high on adrenaline since your last shootout with the batters, so you're not surprised. The door rolls to the right. You are looking into an opening that is at least 3 meters tall, maybe 2.5. Same width. It looks like it's about 4 meters deep. And there is the cart. There are the batters. One of them is looking like right through the sighting scope on the side of the launcher.
Lovely.
I'm gonna bum rush that guy.
Okay. Numbers, you act before any initiative. What do you wish to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna draw the vibro blade and close the combat. We've been down this road before.
Okay, fair enough. Then, so you draw your vibro blade and you rush over there. They're chittering and screeching. You're close enough that you can take a shot at one of them. There are 5. No, I said there are 4 batters of the gun
dude
crew.
on the gun. The dude on the gun.
That would be me.
So do you want to attack or what?
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
All right, absolutely. I'll hack whichever one's closest. I rolled a 12. That's a weapon class 5.
Okay, let's see.
That was a fist of Emrakul again.
Bonk.
Yeah.
There's a guy, he's a YouTuber I watch, Action Retro, and he does these weird upgrades to old Macintoshes and old PCs and stuff like that. And he always, like when he's showing off the hardware, he'll slap it, and it's a blink and you'll miss it, but he puts a little cartoon sound effect above it, thunk, every time he hits the top of an old computer case. All right, so let's see. That is weapon class 5, and you
Yes,
rolled
sir.
an 11.
12.
All right, so let's see. 4, you rolled a 12. All right, you got him. 25 points. He's
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so what is Rex Dashington going to do?
He will close the distance and try to punch the crap out of the guy who is looking down the sights. That gun.
Okay. What is Do-Re-Mi doing?
Yeah, I'm bum rushing the guy as I draw my vibroblade.
Okay, and
If
what
I
about
get closer, maybe it'll hurt him too. I'm not sure.
what about 4077?
Her needler is already out. She's taking a beat on the guy with the gun.
Okay, then we're going to start with Yang. Roll initiative for us, please.
All right. 4.
Okay, everything happens at once. You guys rush forward, and he pulls the trigger. The flash whoomph of the recoilless rifle firing and it is and hitting something is simultaneous as you guys rush in. But is it the floor? Is it somewhere behind you up the hall? Or is it one of you? Let's find out. Yeah, that goes sailing right past you guys. You're kind of like stagger as the rocket flies up the hall. There is an ear-shattering explosion as the round, like you're all vaguely scorched by the passing of the rocket as it slams into the far end of the corridor behind you. RPG Grandma, have a lovely evening. So that was them. Some of them are blasting on you guys. So let's see. It's going to be a slug thrower at. See, that was 1. So there's 3 left. So slug thrower at numbers. Numbers, you're actually hit. You take. Now, this is simultaneous combat for most of you guys, but let's see. 6. Yeah, he got you. He got you pretty hard there. Numbers, you take 15 points of damage from that.
Wow.
That's all you got, boy.
Okay.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
All right, 477 is also shot. 4077 takes 19 points.
Ouch.
Oof.
And the last one to fire has learned that shooting at the guy in the power armor just pisses him off. So this one is going at Do-Re-Mi.
Oh,
And that is a miss on Do-Re-Mi.
nice.
So pow, pow, ping, foosh, clank, counterattacks.
Yeah, I am going to. I'm going to try to vibroblade that guy in the face.
All right.
Ooh, in the face.
Yep, I got a 15. It's class 5.
You stab him in his furry face for 25 points of damage.
How do you like that, me old beauty?
Screaming and clawing at his face as you pull the vibro blade out. 4077, take your shot.
All right. That's an 18.
That will hit. 3d6, please, for the toxin.
Okay. Let me grab the dice. Okay, 3d6. That's 15.
Okay, he grabs his where you shot him and goes down.
That should
It's
take
just
care
like
of those
Thanksgiving.
rockets.
And Rex, go ahead and take your punch, your swing on this guy.
Oh, 7.
7 is gonna swing and miss.
I was aiming at the one on the
How
rocket,
many-
though, so
7. Yeah, no, that's gonna miss. Okay, you guys are close enough now that they've abandoned using the rocket launcher as a close quarters anti-you guys weapon, which is probably a good thing. Numbers Rab, you're up and can act.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna feint and then slide my vibroblade through the defender's heart.
Oh, FEINT. I thought you meant FAINT.
Oh no! Well, I'm not gonna faint. That's for the other people to do. You know,
Yeah.
I'm too brave for that kind of stuff.
These are fainting badgers.
Come on, I better hit. That's a 12.
12, and that hit before, so that will hit this time. And you do
so I guess they're
25.
not goats, huh?
That kills him. So you do exactly as you said you were going to do. So there are 2 remaining. 4077 and Rex and Kevin. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna try to stab the guy, the next batter over.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try to disable the next one.
And Rex.
Same thing. I'll try to crush his skull in my hand.
Okay. Let's roll initiative. And Kevin, it's your turn. D6.
All right. I got a 2.
Okay. One of them is turning around and slapping his palm on a button on the wall, and the door behind is
Son of a.
and it is opening. The other one is shooting at 4077. And that will hit. So 4077 takes. Oh, that's not that bad. 8, 13, 16.
Egads.
Ouch.
How many hits you got left?
Let me look. Gotta calculate.
Because you've taken a total of 35.
Yep, so I am like at 0.
Okay, you're down and bleeding out. So
Can I catch myself so I'm not bleeding at least?
no, you are unconscious. You are in bad shape. Rex, Kevin, do the thing.
All right.
Rex got 16.
Rex hits. That's 9 dice.
Okay.
Ouch.
Oh.
It's gonna crush his skull.
28 plus 9 is 37.
That's sufficient to crush his skull. This will grind their bones quite nicely. So yeah, you just reach over. Crunch. Was that the one who was opening the door, or was that the one that shot 4077?
Whichever one was further away from the group.
That would be the one opening the door.
Then that one.
Okay. That leaves one. That's up to you, Kevin. The one that shot.
I got a 15, class 5.
That will hit.
Try to stab him. 25 points.
25 points. I did do Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd is the giant. Death Angel asked if I did Elmer Fudd. Okay, you run him through, and he goes down.
Sweet.
407 is unconscious. She is not moving. She is breathing very shallowly.
I'll yell, cleric! I mean, medic! Oh, she's the medic.
That kind of sucks.
Well, do we know if she has meds on her? Or do we have to search her?
You'd have to search her. Also, the door has been opened. You are now looking down a relatively longer corridor. It's maybe 5 meters long, and there is a T intersection at the end of it.
I'm going to cover that passageway with my laser rifle sheathing the vibroblade.
Okay.
I guess I'll try to. I'll ask Rex to go see if you can push that button to close that door.
All right.
Because you're going to have a harder time searching than I am, I think.
Probably. Rex will do that.
Yeah. So I'll start searching 4077 for a medical, I don't know, injector or whatever we normally use when we heal people.
Well, she's got bandages, and she's got dried packets of herbs, which you're not sure if Preacher gave you those, if you're about to anoint her with the sacred 7 herbs and spices, or but she definitely has bandages on her that you can try and bandage her up with.
Well, I'll try to bandage her, and then, when I'm done with that, then I'll put some of the herbs on the wings.
I wonder if she tastes like chicken.
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Cannibalism already.
She's
I'm not even dead yet.
Like rubber chicken.
Hey, we're not looting your corpse. We're just going to eat you. That's all. I mean, that's normal in Gamma World. I mean, it's the highest respect.
At least make it extra crispy if you're going there.
I'll
Okay.
take you back to that kiosk that Rex was playing with.
Okay, so Rex, there's just like one latch or handle to pull. So you pull that, and the door rolls shut.
Got it.
Nice. Well, I'll see if I can figure out what to do with these bandages.
I mean, wrapping up the place where she was shot is a fairly easy thing to do. It's not like it gives her any immediate healing, but it stops her from bleeding at least. So
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just wrap it as tight as I can to try to stop the bleeding.
Okay.
Make sure I can still breathe, though, please.
Oh, you got shot in the neck? Damn. Tourniquet. Yeah. I don't know. I know how bandage works, but I don't know why it works. So, okay. I'll tap on her face, left and right cheeks, see if I can get her to come to.
No.
She can't do any Stijitsu blocks, so, we can, poke her eyes or whatever to get her to wake up.
Maybe pinch water. I don't know. Pepper.
Yeah, she's not. She's not budging. She's not reacting.
Have I seen the herbs used before? Ever? I mean, are they in a bag or?
They're just dried, wrapped up packets of leaves.
So it's like a poultice kind of thing.
Yeah.
They should probably put that on first. I smell them. Do they smell like they're edible?
I mean, they smell fresh and kind of plant-like.
I don't know. Are we supposed to make tea with this? Did Preacher say what we're supposed to do with these damn things?
And the human thing,
got
were
to
these
be
the packets that were given to us by that healing lady, the medic? Or was it the packet that the preacher gave us? Because I'm sure the two do not look alike.
I'll keep looking and see if I can find something else. I'll set it aside in case I have to unwrap and put it on the wound. I really don't
Okay.
want to do that though.
Alrighty. I mean, that's relatively easy enough to do.
Okay. I anybody else know medicine at all?
In my village, we used to urinate on the wounds. That's all I can say about it.
Would Rex have had some basic medical training from his days in the military?
Roll percentage dice there, Rex.
Oh, okay. 73.
I mean, you think you can do some basic triage, like, kind of, loosen the dressing a little bit, elevate away from the wound, that sort of thing that might help, but you're not 100% sure.
Rex will try to do what he can.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know better than I do. So I'm just going to back away and say there's that herb pouch there. If you know what to do with that. It might be a suppository.
Okay. Well, there's 4077 lying on the deck. You've bandaged her wounds. Think you've done everything you can. What do you guys wish to do?
So, where was the last rejuvenation chamber and that sort of thing? Not too far away, right?
I think we have one on the car, but I don't think it's functional without a power source.
Right. But we had seen some that did have power sources. I don't know if those are, I think we did. That was a while back.
The last
that
place you
was in
remember
that
seeing
medical
any.
building.
Yeah, the one that you guys caused a Chernobyl incident in.
Yeah.
Right.
Just thinking back, does that chamber have the same kind of plug as Rex's suit's plug, or is it something else?
You think it's something? It's probably something different. You don't know 100% for sure.
Okay. Well, hell.
Well, we can strap her to a cart and keep moving, or we can go back out to the car and see what we can do.
I think we need.
Yeah.
Perhaps if we look in the cargo area, there may be some other medical supplies there.
Yeah, there might. This place has been thin.
How far away do we think that is from where we're at? Concourse 28, 23 or whatever it was.
It was 23, and you think it's I mean, let's see. Just kind of trying to remember by what you saw on the screen, you think maybe it's a kilometer or two away across the ruins of the spaceport.
Somebody know how to drive this cart?
I think that'd be you, my man.
I was afraid you were going to say that. I say
You know how to press triangle.
Yeah, and it scares the hell out of me every time.
Doremi, can
Yeah.
you check the screen of the ancients to see if this place had a medical facility?
Actually, I probably could. Yeah.
Something this large certainly should have one.
Yeah, I would think they would. You're right. Okay. Let's put her on the cart and see if we can drive it back to the kiosk? Or do you want me to just go to the kiosk right now? How worried do I need to be? I look at 4077 and how bad does she look?
Well, I mean, she always looks pale. She's a she's a synth, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay.
What color is the fluid? I meant to ask that earlier.
Sort of a pale pinkish.
Thank you.
Pepto-Bismol. Ugh. Okay. Is the door we came in still open on the other end?
Yes.
Okay. I'll start going towards the kiosk, and I'll tell them if you could get her on the cart, that would probably be helpful. But I don't know if we want to wait. I have no idea how bad she is.
Maybe it's better if we all stick together.
How heavy is the scent? I'll try to pick up one of the legs by the back of the ankle.
Maybe 65 kilos.
Yeah, so not too bad. I should be able to pick it up and dump it on the cart, right?
Sure.
All right, I'll do so.
Unceremoniously. I don't want to go on the cart.
You'll be
Those
stoned.
were recently bandaged. Thank you very much. Just throw me on like a sack of flour.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna do the drive it while we're trying to figure it out thing.
Okay.
I'll look at the controls and see if I can figure out what we need to do to drive this.
I'm unconscious, so I have no say in the matter.
Give me give me a D10 roll.
I got a 5.
Okay. You're not sure if it's maybe because the cart is a little overbalanced. Actually, I need to let me see. We're going to treat this as. Hang on, we're getting to where we need to be. You got a 5. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. The wheels unlatch and you're able to roll it forward.
Okay. So is it a handle or is it a wheel?
There's 2 handles side by side.
Okay, great.
Wheels on the bus go round and round.
So I push both forward to go forward?
Give me a roll.
Okay. I got a 0.
Yeah, you're able to start it gliding very slowly forward. How you steer it, though, that's a bit of a mystery. Give me another roll.
I know how to steer it, but Do-Re-Mi
Do
doesn't
you?
know. Yes, I do.
You know?
I do know. But Do-Re-Mi has no clue. He's got a 4.
A 4. Okay, it continues gliding forward, which, of course, is at a very faint angle. It's not moving uncontrollably fast as it's going forward. So, yeah, you don't really make any changes. Do you want to try again?
Yeah, I'm going to keep trying. And what I want to do is, if I don't go the direction I want, I'm going to, are they spring loaded? So they always return to where they were?
No, they hold the position of where they were.
Okay, so I'm going to put them back where they were when we started. If it doesn't go the way I want to go,
Okay.
I
Roll it.
got a 5. I'm not rolling real well here.
Okay. It bumps against the side of the tunnel and is kind of scraping and shuddering as it's going along, sort of just
God, this is
pushing its way down the wall.
Gonna be Austin Powers, I'm telling you. I got another 4. I'm not sure I'm the right guy for this, guys.
I'm unconscious. I have no idea.
Continues to shudder and push its way up the hallway. They're slowly grinding and squeaking.
Well,
try again.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, got a -3 this time.
Okay. Oh, right. So you just kind of turn the whole affair that the levers were on, and it pulls out. So you got steering down, but it's still just moving forward at a few centimeters along.
And they move faster than that, right? We saw it move faster than this.
Yes, you saw it move a lot faster than that.
Okay. I'm sure everybody's face palming on the other side of this, but I'm going to try to turn it around so it's facing the direction we want to go, back towards the kiosk, and then try to force it forward.
All right. Give me another roll.
I got a -2.
Okay, you think you've got it under control? Give me one more roll.
Got a 1.
All right, that's sufficient. You now have this cart completely under your command. You can make it go fast. You can make it go slow. You can stop it. You can steer it.
Okay. I'm going to try to make it go fast, but not... I don't want to feel like I'm losing control. If it goes too fast, I'll slow down. But I want to go through that door so we can get to the kiosk.
Okay.
I tell the other guys, hey, I think I got it. We probably aren't going to die now, if you want to get on.
Maybe not you guys, but
Well,
I stand a risk of dying.
Yeah, I'll hop on.
If Rex will fit, it'll hop on. Otherwise, he'll just walk along with you.
yeah, I mean, if you want to climb on, you can. You'll have to displace the rocket launcher, which, by the way, you don't see any more rocket shells. There's not a box of them. There's an empty metal case next to it, though.
Is there any mount on the suit for the rocket launcher?
No, there is not.
No. Okay. No, I'll walk along the side. I don't want to give this up just yet.
Okay.
Okay. We'll search the batters when we get back, if we get back. So yeah, drive to get to the doorway and then turn right and try to get to the kiosk.
Okay. I mean, like I said, you've got command of this thing. It's got 0 turn, so getting it out around things is not a problem. And you're over by the kiosk.
Awesome. Okay. So I go to the kiosk and I turn it on and I ask it, is there a medical facility or medical equipment somewhere near here? We have somebody that's in dire need of healing.
First aid kiosks may be located in the following areas. And it shows you a map, and there's all these dots scattered throughout what you must assume is the entirety of this domed area. And then it comes back and says, if you require critical medical assistance, please speak clearly and say, call for medical assistance.
I look to the to Rex and
He'll just shrug his
numbers
shoulders.
and I say, hey, do we want to do that?
Yeah, it's up to you.
All right.
I don't know how they'll act towards a synth.
Yeah. Well, Well, yeah, I'm gonna very carefully and clearly say call for medical assistance.
Okay.
Get your stuff ready.
Yeah, I ready the vibroblade, of course.
Okay. Due to an ongoing emergency situation, there is a wait of 9,9,9,9,9,9. Now, it goes on like that for quite a while, minutes before medical assistance can be rendered.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I really don't feel like waiting that long. Do you guys? I think I'll look for the nearest location where they said there was a first aid station.
It's right over there.
Okay, can I see it? Is it
Yeah.
like it touched the wall or something? Okay. Okay, well, I go right over there and I try to get the first aid station open or whatever I need to do to get in there. Is it a door or is it a unit?
No, it is a box mounted on the wall. It has a faded green cross on it, and stenciled above it, very faded, something about emergency only.
A green cross. I'm not real thrilled by that, but okay. I'll see if I can figure out how to open it. Does it have a latch or is there a piece of glass or?
Yeah, there's just a handle. You don't have to make a roll for it or anything.
Okay, well then I pull on the handle to see if I can get it open to see if there's anything in it.
Let's see. Okay, you've seen this before. It's what looks like a medikit pops out in your hands.
Awesome. Okay, so I have seen this before.
Yes.
I'll yell, "Hey, I got a medikit," and I start running back to see what we can do with 4077. I'm gonna ignore the expiration date for the time being, because that's all we got.
Okay.
So does it have like a ejector, or does it what's in there that we know how to use? It's the standard first aid kit, or the backpack.
A medikit is a technological device that has small robotic aids that can help stabilize people and close wounds and that sort of thing. It'll take you some fiddling with to try and work out, but you think you can sort it out, what it does and how it does it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've used one of these before, so.
Roll a d10.
Here we go again. I got a 5. It's going swimmingly.
Okay. Sorry about that. So you got a 5. All right. You can follow the little diagram, not being crass, but you have to put sensors on 4077's form. So you can follow the diagram to do that. So
Okay.
you've got that going.
All right.
Keep rolling.
Okay. I got a -1.
Okay, it's basically it's walking you through the process. You think of doing something for 4077's well-being. Roll again.
All right. Got a -3 this time.
Okay. You're following the instructions swimmingly.
Better than usual. Okay. Is there a point where I just hands off, or is it's an assisted thing?
It's an assisted thing, and you gotta you gotta listen to what it's saying. You gotta give it a shot.
Okay. I got another -3. This is all in the Gamma World channel in Discord.
No, I believe you.
If anybody wants to see what's going on.
You got that? Is it just like a heightened intelligence, or is it an actual dual brain you've got going?
No. I'm a pure strain human, so that was the add-in for the. There was a set of rules for pure strain humans for attributes.
That's right.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Okay, give me one more roll. Pure strain human.
All right. Oh, not my character sheet. I got a 0.
Okay. You push the flashing green circle on the little panel, and the thing goes to work. Occasionally, you have to follow its instructions and use a little something it calls a syringe that it dispenses. But for the most part, it does what it needs to, and 4077 is still unconscious, but to the best of this thing's abilities, she's probably not going to expire.
Okay, I'll tell the group, hey, it says she's probably not going to expire. I'm going to try to believe it.
Okay.
Well done.
Excellent.
So, is there a challenge response system with this? Can I ask how long?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not a. I mean, it's basically telling you to like remove the sensors and don't touch the area that it's sutured up, and seek advanced life care or advanced life saving facilities and assistance immediately.
Do there appear to be any more med kits around here?
It indicated that there were a few in this area.
Yeah, I'd like to seek one of those out if I know where they are.
Okay. There is another one that is in. Let me see. See, it's in fair condition. The plastic housing around it has been cracked. It looks like something may have struck it or punched it, but it seems to be mostly intact.
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and try to use that on myself.
Okay. Have you used a medikit before?
I have.
Okay. Yeah. So you can attach the unit to yourself, and you listen to it, and it does its thing and heals you up.
Great. Thank you.
Well, it says that we need to get 4077 to an advanced medical facility as soon as possible. Do we even know of one? I mean, we know of that place that had the rejuve chamber.
Yes, but it's full of it's full of radiation now.
Yeah.
Somebody fired a missile cluster at the reactor in the place. I'm not going to point fingers or name names, but his name rhymes with Smashington.
Look, the AI is no longer a problem, so I don't know what you guys are complaining about.
Sometimes you just got to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs, right? I don't know how that really fits in with this situation, but yeah.
I'm winged eggs. Okay, we'll stretch it.
Yeah, I mean, so the nearest rejuvenation chamber we know of is in the car, but it's not functional. How far are we from someone that might know how to use that? back at our home base? We're quite a ways away from there.
Yeah,
The
you're
human city.
days and days and days drive from Stronghold.
Okay. Oh,
The
crap.
human camp. They're still there.
Yeah. It had mentioned a medical facility, didn't it? It was just too far away, or not. The kiosk had said that there was a medical facility, and then there was also the first aid stations. Or did I remember that incorrectly?
It told you that it was calling for
Oh, that's
critical
right.
medical assistance.
Yeah,
And
and we only have 10,000 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been 9 for like a couple of minutes, so it could be, yeah.
I'll go back to the kiosk and say, where is the help supposed to be coming from? Can you show me on the map?
The map zooms out, like it shows you a map of what you must presume is Lanta, which it's kind of redundant. It's telling you you're at Lanta, and you know you're at Lanta, but I guess it felt compelled to tell you that because
I'm at Atlanta.
you're at Lanta.
Okay, yeah, we already knew that. You're right.
And it's indicating a structure that is kind of back in the direction where you guys came from.
Oh, shit. Hey, you know that medical facility it was telling us about? Yeah, I think it's the place that we were just at. That, well, I'm not sure it's a medical facility anymore.
Well, then I think we'll just have to take 4077 with us as we try to find the cargo bay and try to find more helpful medical cargo there.
I'll ask the kiosk where the cargo bay door is from outside. Can it show it to us?
There are multiple cargo onloading and offloading facilities available in the Atlanta spaceport. Depending on what type of cargo you're shipping and what shipping company you are maneuvering them through, you must consult the appropriate guide for your shipping company.
Well, we're going to be our own shipping company today. Does that help?
Please consult a representative at one of the local cargo handling areas for further assistance.
I say representative. And if it talks again, I say representative again, really, but louder.
It repeats the message to you.
Okay, yeah. We're going to have to find it out on our own, I guess, guys. I don't know. Look for a door that's big enough for the car to fit through, I guess. We'll drive until we find it.
Cuts over to a dim webcam showing a room full of chairs all filled with skeletons. No, it does not do that.
Okay, good. It wouldn't be a surprise. Well, I guess we'll take the cart out to the car, unless you guys have a better idea. I don't know what else to do.
I got no plans except killing some things.
Maybe we should check those batters out first, the corpses, before we take her out.
Okay, we'll drive back.
That ain't a bad idea.
We'll drive back to the batter corpses and loot them, I guess, if that's what you call it.
There might be something on there.
The batters each have a slug thrower, a couple of 10-round magazines each. You do notice that they're kind of dressed in the remnants of what you think, like maybe scraps of some kind of uniform or something, on top of the hide and other organic, plant fiber armors that they have patched together.
We'll look for name tags or badges or anything like that.
You don't find anything like that.
Okay.
Don't mind if I do. I'm gonna grab one of these throwers. Y'all all right with that?
Go for it.
Okay. And you are in the innermost, not the innermost, you are in the room that leads further into this domed structure that the batters were occupying.
We can look around trying to find an exit here, or we can go back the way we came where we know we can get out, right? How do you guys want to do it?
Sometimes you have to push ahead. Maybe going forward is the right answer.
I'll look for a door that's next to a window. If there are any.
Here in this entry hall, no, there are no windows here.
Okay. Well,
there's the door you entered this chamber in, which is open because you guys didn't close it when you left. And then there's a door on the other side.
Well, we'll go to the other side.
Briefly saw hallways and then you closed.
Right. There was a T at the end of the hallway.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go that way. We didn't see windows in that hallway either, right? It was.
You did not. No.
Okay. Damn it. So the hallway we're in before seemed like it was elevated, right? This one is on the ground. The one we're on now is on the ground.
The one you're in now, I mean, it's level. It doesn't seem like you went that far down for this to be on the ground.
Okay.
But it's sturdier than the hallway you were in when you came to this dome.
We probably could punch through the floor with the power suit to get out of here. I don't know if that helps, though. Let's just see what's at the end of the hallway. We'll go to the door at the end of the hallway and see if we can open it.
Yeah.
Get to the T anyway. I don't know where there's a door.
So at the end of the hallway, at the T intersection, you come to there's the junction. There are places where it looks like this was very well appointed. There's remnants of soft carpet under your feet, remnants of wood paneling on the walls. There's a little tarnished brass sign that says first class, and on the right hand side it indicates business class. I should also point out that at the T intersection there are ladder rungs that go up.
Hey, I'm gonna take a look up here real quick.
Rex is going to look for any med kits that might be in here.
You don't immediately see any Rex. Going up, and by the way, where is 4077? Is she still just lying on the platform on the vehicle?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know if you guys were just like dragging her body along behind you or what.
We could do that too.
If the cart will fit, we're gonna keep driving the cart. If the cart won't fit, then I guess we'll.
Oh no! This is you're now like, this is narrow enough that like Rex fully occupies the hallway.
Okay.
Like without power armor, Kevin, you and Numbers could walk with your shoulders brushing each other. Rex's power armor fills it, and you're not going to put the you're not going to get the cart down there.
Well, I'll attempt to fireman carry, I guess.
Okay.
The other two are much better at fighting than I am.
Alrighty, you throw her over your shoulder, her wings kind of loosely bonking into everything and kicking up a lot of dust as you're carrying her along. Numbers, you go up, and you're in kind of a strange room. There's all these, it's circular, and it could best be described almost as like a kitchen of sorts. There's what you think are areas for prepping food. It reeks to high heaven in here, I should point out. You see some torn open packaging here and again. It looks like it's been pretty thoroughly ransacked. And when you do enter up in the center of it, you can see that there is a doorway directly in front of you. As you come up the ladder, like if you just climbed up and took a couple of steps, you would be through a doorway.
I'll talk down the ladder to the other people. Hang on a second, and I'll move forward toward the doorway.
Okay. It is closed. You don't see a handle, but there is a small panel with a grid of tiny squares that have characters on them.
All right. I'll put my hand on the door. It's not like hot or anything like that.
No.
All right. I'll make my way back down the ladder. Covering my nose as I do so.
Okay.
We got some stink up there, boys. Looks like a food prep area at some point. I don't know what type of food, what type of person might eat it, but there's a door there. It's got some buttons. I know how much you like pressing buttons, though.
Yeah. Was the door big enough to fit through?
Well, it seemed that way to me.
Yeah. I mean,
okay. I guess I'll climb the ladder and look at the door, so we can get the hell out of here.
Dully gleaming metal. Number pad on the bulkhead next to it.
The physical buttons.
Yes.
I look and see if there's certain buttons that are worn more than other buttons.
You gonna throw a handful of sand on there too? If there's any skin oil clinging to them.
You take a pencil and you shave it off. And then
anybody have a gummy bear in their pocket? Yeah.
Some crazy glue,
I was going to say crazy glue in the matchbook.
So yeah, I mean, I'll just see if I can get the door open.
Yeah, it doesn't budge. If you want to try the number pad, you can take a stab at it, and it doesn't it doesn't do anything.
I don't think we can get out. I call down
2, 3, 4.
Yeah. 1, 3. No, that's not it. 1, 4. Nope. Okay. Well, hey, I don't think we're getting out from up here.
Fair enough.
So I'll climb back down. I don't think we want. This is not the exit. I don't know what the hell this is.
This is not the exit we're looking for.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I think we should go back the way we came.
Unless we're smelled good up there, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
There might be signs that say exit.
Yeah, I
on this
looked a
thing.
little bit, and I noticed there was no protein. All I found was a bunch of rotten kale that nobody ate. So yeah, yeah. Let's go back the way we came. I don't know how to get the hell out of here.
All right, so you do have the T-splitting hallway to the left and the right, but you can certainly leave. I'm just letting you guys know.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we can go to the other side, right? Oh no, this went straight up, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, this was up the ladder.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, let's do the law left. We'll go left first.
Okay. You're in a semicircular room. There is a spiral staircase at the far end of it. There are a number of what were once probably very comfortable, low, almost bed-like couches here that are tilted back. A lot of them have been torn up, shredded, that sort of thing. Whatever purpose this room served, it was once fairly opulent. There are low tables here and again. There's kind of a crooked panel sort of hanging loosely out of the ceiling in one end of the room.
Any bottles of anything in here or anything like that?
No, you don't immediately see any, no.
All right.
No,
There's-
no 180-year-old scotch sitting around.
So there's
Damn
there's a staircase, but no other exits.
Yeah, correct. There's a spiral staircase in front, and it looks like there's a hole in the floor, like it goes down also.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go down the staircase and see what's down there.
This appears to be a similar chamber to the one above. You do notice that the wall here is curved in two directions. Like, it's curved horizontally, and it seems to curve down beneath you, but it's a very slight curve to it.
Are there windows or?
They're closed opening, but are closed circular holes of some kind. You're not sure how they're opened, but
Okay.
possibly.
Yeah. Well, hell, any doors in here, or is it just the stairwell going up?
Yes, the room on the far right is dominated by a large wall, and there is a door there.
Anybody up for the Mile High Club? I'm gonna go down there and open the door.
Okay, the door swings open, and you are not surprised by a trio of batters.
Oh shit!
You are
I'm gonna
on your
yell really loud.
so.
Batters!
That is where we will leave it for now, and we'll come back next week and find out, is 4077 going to make it? Is the party going to find any useful tech? And what about these batters? Can they be negotiated with, or is it victory or death? So I want to thank my players tonight. Thank you to Doomsword and Kevin and Yang and, of course, Sapphire. Really appreciate it. And thank you to the audience for being here tonight, guys. I do it for all of you, of course, as well. So I will be back on Monday with info about the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention 2, which is coming up in June, at the end of June. I should point out Monday we will have a sign up sheet and dates and times and all that jazz and mataz. So I'll get all that together this weekend and share it with you guys on Monday. Monday night, of course, we'll just have some fun open RPG talk. Tuesday night, we'll be playing some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons with Doomsword stepping back into the role of Turgo. Wednesday, I'm not sure Kyle will be back on Wednesday. I don't think so. I think he's out one more week.
I think he's out one more.
So Wednesday and Thursday are kind of open RPG fun. We'll find fun stuff to do. And then Friday, we're right back here and we'll resolve this cliffhanger. So thank you again to everyone for bringing the fun. And
We'll
see you all next time, guys. Have an absolutely wonderful evening. Take care.
See you guys next week.
Night, peeps.
Bye-bye.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me